Hello and welcome. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. My name is Carissa. You probably already know me though. If you're watching this video, you're probably like my mom or a good friend or like a high school enemy who's here to see me crash and burn. You're all welcome. I wanted to start talking a little bit more about personal finance and about money this year, and I thought that this might be a cool venue to do that. I am someone who really loves personal finance and loves helping people, specifically folks who are new to managing money, maybe folks who have a job for the first time or who are just finally needing to get control of their finances. I love helping people in those situations learn to manage their money and grow their wealth. Before we can get into all those nitty-gritty details of personal finance and talk about all the little nuances and things that you can do to manage your money better, I wanted to just take a step back and zoom out and get this really much larger view of why you might be wanting to manage your personal finances a little bit better, what you think money might be able to do for you. So, this is an exercise I like to call a rich life list, or creating a rich life list. And so if you have the ability, go ahead and take out your phone so that you can type out some notes, or grab a piece of paper or a notebook and a pen so that you can jot some things down as you're doing this exercise. Before I even think about what money might be able to do for me, I like to think about what would the best version of me look like. What would my richest life look like? What would my best life look like? I usually try to walk myself through some questions and think through what would my best life look like, and then from there we can distill that down into a rich life list. So some things that I like to think about, or that you can reflect on when kind of doing a brain dump or just getting some things down on paper so that you can start to compile that rich life list, are things like, what do I do every day? Who do I interact with every day? What do I spend my free time doing? What do I do for work? What do I eat? Do I eat out? Where do I eat out? What kinds of foods do I eat? Do I travel? Where do I travel? How often do I travel? Who do I want to invite with me to travel? What kinds of things can I pay someone to do because I don't like doing them? How do people perceive me? And then ultimately, just what does my richest life look like? So if you've got a moment, take some time, reflect on those questions, jot down some notes about how you would respond to those questions, or what you envision your life, your richest life, looking like. So once you had some time to jot down some of those notes, we need to distill those then into a rich life list. So you're gonna look at kind of all of those notes and come up with statements that would be true if you were living your richest life. Things like, I can afford to pay for dinner and just throw my card on the table when everyone is out to eat and we're trying to settle the bill. Or things like, I travel once a year for a month at a time. Or I have $1 million in the bank. I take a month off every winter to go skiing for an entire month. I can afford to buy anything on the menu without looking at prices. Or maybe you might say something like, I choose my jobs and my work because of the job responsibilities or the things that I would get to do in that job, and not because of the amounts of money that it pays. Or maybe you might say something like, I'm debt-free. Some things that I have on my rich life list are things like, I make $86,960 a year. I used to write down that I wanted to have a six-figure salary, or that I made a six-figure salary every year, but I realized that I didn't actually need to make a six-figure salary in order to accomplish all of the things I wanted to accomplish with money. And so I changed that from a six-figure salary to something that was more specific for me, which was $86,960 a year. Very specific, and helps me to know what I'm striving towards that's personal to me. Another thing that's on my rich life list is that I travel abroad every year. I really enjoy traveling internationally, and so I want to make an effort to go abroad every single year and visit a new country and a new place. Another item that's on my rich life list is that I own a bright and minimalistic home. For me, that's probably going to be a tiny home because I'm obsessed with tiny homes. I think they're super interesting. And the reality is I don't want to clean a huge mansion, and I don't even want to have to pay someone to clean a huge mansion. I would rather just live in a small little house on wheels, and my dog and I can travel around the country and live wherever we want to live and just bring our house with us. It's important that when you think about your rich life list, you think about the things that are important to you and the things that are not important to you. For me, it's not important to have a really massive house with a huge swimming pool in the backyard. It's more important to me to have a little house that's on wheels that I can bring to the beach or bring to the mountains or travel around with. As you're creating your rich life list, this should be personal to you. This shouldn't just be things that you think should be on someone's list, but that things that are really, really valuable to you, that you really care about, and that you want to see happen in your life personally. So now that you've had this chance to compile your rich life list, go ahead and post it somewhere that you'll see it all the time. I also create a visual representation, so like a vision board of all of these things so that I can see images of what it would look like when these things came true, when this rich life list actually happened. And that is also really a great tool for me to be able to look at that every day and kind of see that and have it just sink into my brain. In future videos, we will talk about the nitty-gritty of finances, things like budgeting or conscious spending or savings and checking accounts or investing or retirement, different things like that. But before we can really get to a place where we can dive into those nitty-gritty pieces, it's important to know your why you're doing this, what you're striving towards. And for me, that's what my rich life list is. It's a compilation of all of the things that I am striving for or hoping to achieve or hoping will come as a result of managing my money well. So congratulations on creating your rich life list. This list will hopefully be really grounding for you and provide some direction on where you're going as we dive into the nitty-gritty of personal finance. I'm really excited to hear about some of the things that are included on your rich life list. So if you want to go ahead and leave a comment below sharing one of those items that's on your rich life list, I would love to cheer you on as you strive towards that. I will see you soon in another finance video. In the meantime, have an excellent week. I look forward to seeing you live your richest life.